Good morning, all. I am Dr. R. Soumyalata, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of English, Arulmigu Palaniyandavar Arts College for Women. Now I am going to present the poem Andrew Marvell's To His Coy Mistress. Let's start the author introduction. Andrew Marvell. He was born on March 31st, 1621, Wanstead, Yorkshire in England. He died on August 18th, 1678 in London. He is an English poet, satirist and politician whose political reputation overshadowed his poetry until the 20th century. He is the best metaphysical poet. This title To His Coy Mistress, something to his lady love mistress who is shy. Shy means here this addressed as coy. Setting of this poem is speaker's imagination, that is the river Humber in England to the Ganges in India. Next one is form and language. The using a metrical form known as iambic tetrameter. It's a 4 iambic feet, rhymes in couplets AA, BB, CC and DD. 46 lines longed with 3 stanzas. The first stanza consists of 20 lines, the second one is 12 lines and third stanza, that is last one, consists of 14 lines. Form a dramatic monologue and this poem is a satirical tone. Theme of this poem is conventional theme, conflict between love and time in a witty and ironic manner. This is a well structured syllogistic argument beginning with this statement. Syllogistic means that formal analysis of logical terms. So, first stanza is a statement of condition or a hypothesis. It starts with had we but. The second stanza is going on to an explanation, starts with but at my back. And the final stanza is a right conclusions justifying his argument, starts with now, therefore. To his coy mistress, the speaker addresses his lady love, who is shy and not responsive to his call for love. The speaker tries to make her realize the brevity, that is, shortness of life. He urges the lady to make a love to him at their youthful heights before it is too late. So, let me start the poem explanation. Had we but world enough and time, this coyness, lady, were no crime. We would sit down and think which way to walk and pass our long love's day. Andrew Marvell's famous metaphysical love poem To His Coy Mistress begins with speaker talking to his shy lady love, coy mistress. He opines that if they had plenty of time and space in this world to live, then her shyness would not be considered a crime. So, the speaker calls his lady love present shyness a crime. The poet adds that if they had enough time in their hand, then they would sit together somewhere and would plan the ways in which they can spend their time more. They would plan how they would walk, or the speaker seems to trying to convenience his coy mistress about the mortality of human life. Next line. Though by the Indian Ganges side should rubies find I by the tide, how Humber would complain, I would love you 10 years before the flood, and you should, if you please, refuse till the conversation of the Jews. Here he continues the same argument. He would imagine the condition if they had a limitless life, they had enough time. His beloved would sit beside the river Ganga in India and collect some valuable stones like rubies also. On the other hand, speaker would sit on bank of river Humber complaining to the river about her beloved not coming to him. Here the speaker expresses how much he would love his beloved, they had an enough time, says love his mistress for 10 years before the flood. This alludes to the great flood in Christian history. Also, his mistress could refuse his proposal until the conversation of the Jews, which refers to the day of the Christian judgment. He would not mind as they will have enough time to make love. Next line. My vegetable love should grow vaster than empires and more slow. 100 years should go to price thine eyes and on thy forehead gaze. In this line, the speaker claims that his love is a vegetable love. He compares his love with vegetable because his love grows slowly and organically without any external force. Here, the speaker suggests that if time is permitted, his love would grow more than the width of an empire, and its grow will be very gradual. Then the speaker goes on to describe how he would have prized each and every part of his beloved's body had an enough time to live. He says he would have consumed 100 years in prizing her eyes and gazing at her forehead. The next line, 200 to adore each breast, but 30,000 to the rest. An age at least to every part, and the last age should sow your heart. For lady, you deserve this state, nor would I love at lower rate. In a continuations from this previous lines, the lover would take 200 years to adore each of his lady love's breast. Also, he would take 30,000 years for prizing the rest of her body. The speaker claims that he would have consumed a lifetime to prize each part of her beloved's body. He will concentrate on her heart at the very end. He claims that his beloved deserves to be prized like this. She is so beautiful and so charming that the lover couldn't love her any lesser if he got enough time in his life. Second stanza. But at my back always here, time's winged chariot hurrying near, and yonder all before us lie. Deserts of vast eternity, thy beauty shall no more be found, nor in thy marble vault shall sound my echoing song. Then whom shall dry that long preserved virginity, and your point honor turn to dust, and into ashes all my lust. The grave's a fine and private place, but none, I think, do they embrace. Now therefore, while their youthful hue sits on thy skin like a morning dew. Here, the second stanza begins. In first stanza, the speaker was talking about the possibilities of the extent of love that they would enjoy if they had a limitless life in this world, but alas, it is impossible thing. He says that he hears the sound of a time's wings as it flies closely behind their backs. Time waits for no more, it flies, leaving everything behind. He also says that the other world after death is waiting for us at a distance yonder. It's like a vast desert of eternity lying before us. Thus, the lover reminds his beloved of life's brevity, their shortness. Here, the speaker described the situation after death. In our destined tomb, our beauty will slowly but surely turn into dust. So, the beloved's beauty will fade as soon as she dies. Here, marble vault refers to coffin. The speaker's song would not be heard from her coffin. Everything will vanish and turn to dust there. After mentioning the beloved's beauty, the speaker speaks of her virginity that she has preserved for a long time. The worms would destroy this long preserved virginity. There is a coffin. Thus, we see the speaker tries to make his lady realize that things like beauty and virginity are of no use after death. His lust for her beauty too will turn into ashes, though the lover finds the grave a fine and private place as nobody can't see them there. It's not the place where lovers should embrace. Now, the last stanza. And while thy willing soul transpires at every pore with instant fires, now let us sport us while we may, and now like amorous birds of prey, rather at once our time devour, than languish in his slow chapped power. Let us roll all our strength and all our sweetness up into one bowl, and tear our pleasures with rough strife through the iron grades of life. Thus, though we cannot make our sun stand still, yet we will make him run. In this last stanza, start with now, therefore, it means the speaker will now talk about the things they need to do right now before the time flies. He says that youth is the best part of our life to enjoy. At this time, one becomes energetic and passionate. The skin is asprous as the morning dew. Moreover, in his youth, the beloved soul is very much willing to come out, transpire from every pore of the skin with immediate desires. The speaker here is actually talking about his lady's erotic desires, which he believes he can see in her body. So he suggests that they should indulge in physical lovemaking. Sport hints at a sexual play without wasting time. This is the making hay while the sun shines. Poet now suggests that the two lovers should be like passionate, amorous, praying birds like eagle and hawk, etc. And eat, devour, time before time eats them. He means to say that unless the lovers enjoy their time at their youthful heights, time won't wait for them and they will slowly suffer, languish the destructing power of time. Should unite all their strength and passion along with their sweetness to get the pleasure of love. Life is just an iron gate that doesn't open easily. It is filled with struggle and resentment, rough strife. With all their strength and passion, the lovers will tear the iron gate to get that happiness. In the last couplet, the poet wants to say that they can't make their good times of youth wait for them. However, they can make the most of their time with love's unitedness. It would be a fitting challenge to the running of time then. Hope you all understood this poem. Thank you.